Royal family tensions with the BBC Saint Witchell has seen aristocrat William follow his father Charles in rejecting the journalist. Once the aristocrat of Wales was once triggered by him, unearthed accounts show. Relations between the royals, and therefore the BBC, have habitually been scrutinised across generations, and last came to a head when the broadcaster was challenged over Martin Basher's interview with aristocrat Diana. Associate inquiry into however man Basher obtained the long-lasting interview found that he acted during a deceitful approach and used pretend documents. Lord Dyson's inquiry also found that the BBC fell short of high standards of integrity and transparency and finished that the corporation's internal probe in 1996 was woefully ineffective. The BBC and Man Basher have each apologised and written to William, yet as his brother aristocrat Harry. However, tensions between royals, and therefore the BBC, don't seem to be restricted to the current one interview, as Charles reportedly fell out with their royal correspondent Mr. Witchell, and reports recommend the feud was passed on to William. The strain between Charles and Mr. Witchell, a former 6 o'clock news presenter, seems to stem from 2000, when the Shropshire-born journalist delivered a report that likened the long-run monarch and his then-partner Camilla, noblewoman of Cornwall, to his relation King of Great Britain and Wallis Simpson. Writing for the Daily Mail in 2015, commentator Geoffrey Levy noted that the feud would then develop once a series of different reports delivered by Man Witchell conjointly upset the royal. He wrote, "Friends of the aristocrat of Wales say the trigger goes back to 2000, and a report by Mr. Witchell a couple of planned trip to the Greek islands by Charles and Camilla." Witchell, who had been appointed royal correspondent 2 years earlier, drew parallels between that vacation, and therefore the exotic vacations of King of Great Britain and his mistress Man Simpson. Mr. Levy quoted a senior royal aide, who claimed Charles was absolutely furious for the BBC to form such a comparison. The aide added, "He was shouting and complaining, significantly upset that the Queen had seen Witchell's broadcast too." Mr. Witchell once more furious Charles, with remarks he created, whereas delivering comment on aristocrat Margaret and the Queen Mother deaths in 2002. Tensions erupted further once Charles gave a currently ill-famed interview before his wedding with Camilla in 2005, during which he was detected muttering beneath his breath concerning Man Witchell. Mr. Levy noted that this was when William seems to own adopted his father's dislike of Witchell, because the BBC journalist tried to raise him and his brother aristocrat Harry for his or her thoughts on Charles' imminent nuptials. Mr. Levy saying that following these episodes, a series of vital scoops would be two-handed to rival broadcasters, cherished Sky and ITV. This enclosed when a TV documentary crew from ITV got access to Camilla friends, in what Man Levy represented was a move by Charles to exact revenge on the BBC. He added, "Some of Camilla's best friends will wield dead set bat for her cause and place her during a positive light, one thing Charles might have feared that the BBC couldn't be trusted to do." Prince Harry's 21st birthday interview is another event which, in years gone by, would mechanically have gone to the BBC. The interview, broadcast round the world, went, rather surprisingly, to Sky, with its then royal correspondent Catherine Humorous asking the questions. Carriage House denied snubbing the BBC. And maybe most tellingly, ITV Tom Bradby, then a royal correspondent, was given William and Kate, noblewoman of Cambridge engagement announcement interview, coverage unremarkably two-handed to the BBC. Man Witchell remains with the BBC, however reportedly as bewildered Charles dislikes him therefore much, Mr. Levy concluded. He added, he sees himself as having done nothing over his job as a broadcaster, giving the facts clearly and disinterestedly to the public. More recently, Man Witchell was vulnerable, once describing tensions between Harry and William when the Combine was seen chatting along at their Gramps Aristocrat Philip ceremony earlier this year. At the time, Harry had recently appeared during a landmark interview on CBS with Oprah Winfrey, during which the royal criticized aspects of the firm. In his piece after Philip's funeral, Mr. Witchell wrote, "There could be a rift. It is a distraction no one would have wished on a solemn occasion cherished this, and definitely not their grief-stricken grandmother. William feels disappointed and Harry seems to feel resentful. Hence conjointly terribly trapped within the modus vivendi and attitudes of California." So what impact, one wonders, can this transient however intense re-immersion in his recent life have had on Harry? Viewers voiced their anger on social media, with several claiming the brothers ought to be allowed to mourn in peace, as against having their interactions scrutinized.